Hello there, lovely good evening and welcome to Camnet TV main news today, Tuesday the 16th of September in the year 2025. Let's now take a look at the news headlines. ECL'S family application for leave to appeal dismissed. Teachers free to participate in voter registration, says Ministry of Education. Zambia vaccinates 200,000 cattle against foot and mouth disease. In international news, funeral held for 31 journalists killed in Israeli airstrikes in Yemen. In sports, Zambia's under-17 team thrashed Madagascar 5-1 in COSAFA match. Join us for these and many more stories after the break.
Enjoy the benefits of an instant loan with us ranging from 1,000 kwacha to 750,000 kwacha paid express once collateral is viewed, valued and verified. Call us on 0763 595 359 or 0779 432 993. Classified Financial Express, here as your financial friend.
Camnet TV main news now showing on Topstar channel 106, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube and on the Kenstream app. With the main news in detail, I'm Tapelo Joe Smatter. The Gauteng High Court in Pretoria has dismissed an application by former Zambian President Edgar Lungu's family seeking to block government of Zambia from repatriating his remains for a state funeral. The ruling, delivered on Tuesday, upheld an earlier decision allowing government to take charge of the burial arrangements despite objections from Lungu's widow and children. The Lungu family had argued that as heirs they held exclusive burial rights under South African common law and that the court erred by applying Zambian law without proper expert evidence. They also maintained that the funeral arrangements document referred to as FAA 7 gave them authority to organize repatriation privately and not through the Zambian government. In rejecting the application, the court found no reasonable prospects of success on appeal. The bench, led by Judge President Ledwaba, held that Lungu remained the former head of state entitled to burial benefits in Zambia, regardless of his family's position. It further ruled that the Zambian Attorney General was a competent authority on Zambian law, making expert testimony unnecessary. The judges also dismissed claims that the matter raised unique constitutional questions warranting further appeal. They emphasized that burial disputes of this kind are fact-specific and unlikely to establish new principles of law. The court awarded costs against the applicants, including the employment of 2 counsel. Government has approved the 2026 budget, paving the way for the presentation of the national budget to Parliament on 26 September. Minister of Information and Media and Chief Government Spokesperson Cornelius Mwetwa, during a press briefing on the outcomes of the 7th Cabinet meeting held at State House, said the 2026 national budget had been prepared following wide consultations and in line with the 2026-2028 medium-term budget plan. He explained that Cabinet's approval is in line with constitutional requirements and the National Planning and Budgeting Act of 2020, ensuring that fiscal planning remains transparent and accountable. Cabinet also approved a review of the Public Service Funeral Assistance Scheme, shifting it from the current hybrid model to an insurance model. He noted that the reform will enhance benefits for public service employees and their families by strengthening entitlements for separation, disability and living allowances.
Year 2026 estimates of revenue and expenditure. Cabinet approved the year 2026 estimates of revenue and expenditure. This follows the approval by Cabinet at its 13th meeting held on 11th July 2025 of government's policy objectives and strategies for the 2026-2028 medium-term budget plan, which facilitated the timely formulation of the 2026 annual budget in line with the constitutional requirement and the National Planning and Budgeting Act number 1 of 2020. The 2026 national budget has been prepared after wide consultations. The Minister of Finance and National Planning is expected to present the detailed 2026 national budget in the National Assembly of Zambia on Friday, 26th September 2025. The 2026 national budget will be forward-looking and pro-growth budget meant to consolidate the socio-economic gains thus far in the 4 years of the new Dawn administration led by President Hakainde Hichilema.
The Ministry of Education has clarified that teachers and head teachers are not barred from participating in the upcoming voter registration exercise. This follows reports suggesting that educators would be restricted from taking part in the national process. Permanent Secretary for Education Services, Dr. Kelvin Mambwe, said that, like all citizens, teachers have the right to engage in voter registration, which is a cornerstone of democratic participation. He emphasized that the ministry recognizes the vital role educators can play in supporting the exercise. Dr. Mambwe noted that while some teachers are involved in end-of-year examinations, the number is limited. This ensures that other teachers can take part in voter registration without disrupting academic activities in schools. The ministry has since urged teachers and head teachers who wish to participate to do so responsibly, ensuring that examination classes and school operations are not affected.
The Ministry of Education wishes to clarify that it has not banned teachers or head teachers from participating in the forthcoming voter registration exercise. Teachers and head teachers, like all citizens, have the right to participate in this very important national process. Voter registration is a cornerstone of democratic engagement, and the ministry recognizes the vital role educators can play in administering it. While some teachers and head teachers will be engaged in end-of-year examinations, the number involved is limited. This allows room for other teachers to contribute to the voter registration exercise without disrupting academic activities. The ministry therefore encourages teachers and head teachers who wish to participate to do so responsibly, ensuring that examination classes are not disturbed, as has been the practice in previous years. Furthermore, the ministry would like to reaffirm its unwavering support for teachers and head teachers alike across the country. Therefore, the statement attributed to the Ministry of Education suggesting that teachers and head teachers are barred from participating in voter registration exercise should be disregarded.
The Zambia National Marketers Association, ZANAMACA, has welcomed government measures to stabilize the energy sector, saying the interventions announced by President Hakainde Hichilema will protect small businesses and secure household incomes. Speaking at a press briefing in Lusaka today, ZANAMACA President Mupila Kameya said the association fully supports the prioritization of markets and households in electricity supply. Mr. Camnet said increased power supply hours to markets will prevent thousands of small businesses from collapsing. He noted that load shedding had severely disrupted the ability of traders to store fresh goods, operate equipment, and extend trading hours. But the president's assurance that markets will be prioritized gives renewed confidence to over 1.8 million ZANAMACA members. The association also commended government's investment in diversifying Zambia's energy mix, pointing to the development of over 740 megawatts of solar projects within the next year and ongoing thermal expansions.
We are here today to give our reaction to the address by His Excellency President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, to Parliament, in which he outlined critical measures to stabilize to stabilize and grow Zambia's energy sector. As Zambia National Marketeers Credit Association ZANAMACA, we commend government for increasing electricity supply hours to markets and highly populated townships amid the current power deficit. This intervention will save thousands of small businesses from collapsing, protect household incomes, and ensure that traders can continue operating with a degree of stability during this difficult period. Marketeers are among those most affected by load shedding. Our ability to store fresh foods, run small equipment, and extend trading hours has been disrupted, reducing incomes and opportunities for families. But the President's assurance that markets and households will be prioritized gives us renewed confidence that no Zambian will be left behind.
The Zambia Compulsory Standards Agency says it is impressed with the level of compliance to food and beverage standards in Muchinga province, citing increased inspections and public awareness campaigns as key drivers of progress. The agency noted that non-compliance has reduced significantly due to joint interventions with other government institutions. Agency manager in charge of communications and public relations, Brian Hachoka, says in March 2025, a combined team of officers and other state institutions conducted market surveillance in Chinsali, covering 25 trading outlets. He says the inspection led to the seizure of non-compliant products valued at 6,695 kwacha, which included expired goods, counterfeit items, banned products, and goods labeled only in foreign languages. The agency further highlighted the growth of registered factories in Muchinga, which have increased from just 1 in 2017 to 15 in 2025.
Has in particular noted a reduction in non-compliance due to increased interventions on the market, such as public education, factory inspections, market surveillance, and quarterly joint food safety inspections that are being conducted with other government institutions here in the province. A combined team of officers from ZCSA and other state institutions conducted a joint market surveillance inspection covering 25 trading outlets in March this year and seized non-compliant products valued at 6,695 kwacha. The markets visited were Namburuma area turn-off into Chinsari, Kabuta Market, Old Market, and the new market in the main central business district of Chinsari. The nature of non-compliance for seized products included expired products, counterfeit products, banned products, poorly labeled and packaged products, as well as products which were only labeled in foreign language. ZCSA, working with different government institutions, is planning to conduct market surveillance inspections on fertilizer in Chinsali, Nakonde, Isoka, Mpika, Shiwangandu, Lavushmanda, and Kanchivia areas of Muchinga province in October this year. Other market surveillance inspections as well as factory inspections will be undertaken in Mpika, Chinsali, Isoka, Mafinga, and Nakonde. The number of factories registered with ZCSA in Muchinga province have actually increased from 1 in 2017 to about 15 in 2025. These includes 6 number plate companies, 4 milling companies, 1 for edible crude oil, 1 for refined edible oil, 1 for laundry soap, 1 for packaged bottled drinking water, and 1 for potable spirits. The agency expects more companies to register for their products to be authorized before they are supplied on the market.
Government of Zambia, through the Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock, has vaccinated 200,000 cattle against foot and mouth disease (FMD) nationwide. Dr. Fusia Goma, Assistant Director of Field Services in the Department of Veterinary Services, confirmed the development in a recent interview with the National Agricultural Information Services in Kabwe, Central Province. Dr. Goma stated that government aims to vaccinate a total of 1.2 million cattle, focusing on high-risk areas including Eastern, Southern, Central, and Muchinga, Northern, and Western provinces. He emphasized that the vaccination campaign is part of the ongoing efforts to prevent the spread of FMD, protect livestock, and safeguard the livelihoods of farmers across the country. The ministry continues to encourage cattle owners to participate actively in the vaccination program to ensure the health and productivity of the national herd.
In the quest to protect the livestock industry, ensure food security, and promote rural livelihoods, government has embarked on a robust move to vaccinate all cattle in high-risk areas. Dr. Fusia Goma, who is Assistant Director Field Services under Department of Veterinary Services, revealed the strides made in the exercise so far.
You may wish to know that government vaccinates for a number of diseases to protect the national herd from incursion of outbreaks of disease. So materials, the vaccines have been distributed. We had a total of about 1,200,000 vaccines, and these have been distributed countrywide. We currently are standing at about 200,000 animals vaccinated as of today. Central Province received a total of about 400,000 doses of FMD vaccine, and as of yesterday, they had vaccinated about 104,000 animals.
Dr. Goma also gave an update on East Coast fever immunization.
Right now, the department is preparing to immunize for ECF, that's East Coast fever, which is also known as dengue. We had 79,000 doses and they've been distributed. Even materials are currently being distributed in preparation for the immunization. So for Central Province, they did get about 6,000 of these Stabilet.
This reporter did a spot check to appreciate what was on the ground and witnessed the vaccination of close to 1,000 cattle in Impima area of Kabwe district in Central Province. Lazarus Mbe, a person, appreciated government for the gesture.
Nifuna kuonga kwambiri government panchito imene wachita kapena chiganizo chimene achita kuti abwere atilasire ng'ombe zathu kuteteza matenda. Ndipo ichi tiyamikira komanso tipempha kuti asangolekera pamene apa ya. Pamene pali zofunikira kuti atipase thandizo limene yoteteza ziweto zathu, please atichitire. Chifukwa sikambiri mafamazi kuti angapeze mankhwala monga aya yoteteza matenda monga ya food and mouth.
Helen Witu reporting from Kabwe, Central Zambia.
From Central Province, we now go to Western Province, where virgins and Male Circumcision Empowerment Zambia Director Simon Mubita has called on ward development committees and local authorities to prioritize empowering groups that have undergone entrepreneurship and business skills training. Mr. Mubita noted that in the past, some beneficiaries of the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, have misused the resources due to a lack of business knowledge and capacity. He stressed that giving priority to trained groups would ensure accountability and sustainability of projects funded through the CDF. Meanwhile, Ikwichi Ward Council Representative Mwitumwa Mubuyayeta welcomed the call, saying beneficiaries with proper training were more likely to make effective use of the funds. Kelvin Kabila now reports.
A total of 260 community members of Ikwichi Ward in Rumunga District, Western Province, have undergone entrepreneurship training to equip them with knowledge on how to manage their businesses. This is in accordance with Constituency Development Fund Guideline number 14. Virgins and Male Circumcision Empowerment Zambia Executive Director Simon Mubita emphasized the importance of entrepreneurship skills.
Marketing musona kuyofundotera kakali mulowamina kakuli tutoze mwezi zeze become tusa as an entrepreneur kakuli sepakuli ne mwitu tile marketing strategy ne mwitu tile makupangela budget so ni sepakuli fakuba entrepreneur mbina zamina likaba bunolo kakuli tutoze become tusa nikubona kuli neka mkafi wa mashelenyi amuna kuikabera walo kakuli neke CTF abasika mifa konomi namwa kona kubeyali toha mwakakuli mufitire mwali tutoza entrepreneur apene mulutirwe mwakupangela mashelenyi.
Ikwichi Ward Council Representative Mwituma Mbuyayeta says the training will help the people of Ikwichi Ward on how to manage their resources well.
Indeed, this training in entrepreneurship has equipped the members in financial literacy, etc., thinking and think big and dream big. Hence, with this knowledge inquired our people through the clubs and the beneficiaries of the grants of the government will make use of our resources and each word will benefit level. I thank you all for this kind attention.
Representing other beneficiaries, Mubiana Mubuyayeta and Joyce Kainga says the training will change the way they used to run their businesses.
Uzwa kwa mulao kwa saboni kuli vatu wako na kwa mwela tutu yesu wanasina chwale kulikini iti chwale kacheku watu waba saikeze za fela mutakafurele kakuli walutiwe budgeting ona kuinafa fasi kukorohanya hande zo batakweza uzwafate nini planning kapa kusinganye kaso batakweza kulikisi kama isi fela fomane happen kunyakisisa kulikana fana afumana profiti kapa nifumani profit isa niti kuli kaona moru inezi mane hape sabuto kwa hulu kikusevezi sa zibo yelu amuhezi kuli ikonde kuluchincha bupiro bwaluna.
Kevin Kabila Msiewo, Camnet News in the Mulunga District, Western Province.
Kelvin Kabila Msiewo with that particular report from Western Province. You are still watching main news on Camnet TV. We now take our first set of commercials, but do join us for international and sports news when we come back. Please do stay tuned.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
For immediate coverage of any breaking or latest news in Zambia and around the world on Camnet Television, call the numbers on your screen. Television, bringing to your screens fair news, impartial news, credible and reliable news all the time. Get the whole truth on Camnet World News. Camnet Television, not just another channel.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodland, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palavana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
Welcome back and thank you so much for still joining us. And now in international news. Hundreds of people attended funeral services on Tuesday for 31 journalists who were killed in Israeli airstrikes last week in Yemen. The service was held at the Al-Shab Mosque in the capital, Sanya, where mourners paid their respects to slain reporters. Coffins carrying the bodies of the journalists were displayed one by one before being lifted and paraded with an honor guard as family, colleagues and community members observed solemnly. Here's a roundup of international stories.
Coffin after coffin carrying the bodies of the 31 journalists killed in last week's Israeli strikes on Yemen. Hundreds of people came to the Al-Shab Mosque in Yemen's capital Sana'a to pay their respects to the slain reporters. The caskets were then picked up and paraded with an honor guard. The strike last week targeted Iran-backed Houthi rebels in Sana'a after a drone launched by the Houthis breached Israeli defences and struck an airport in the country's south. Israel's retaliatory strikes hit residential areas, a military headquarters and a petrol station in the capital, according to the health ministry in the Houthi-held northwest of Yemen. Dozens of people were killed, including the journalists. It's not the first time Israel and the Houthis have exchanged missile fire. The Houthis say they're supporting Hamas.
The United Nations, in a new report on Tuesday, blamed systemic government corruption in South Sudan for the human rights crisis plaguing the country. The UN Commission on Human Rights in South Sudan accused the country's political elites of diverting public revenues from oil and other sources for their own benefits. The chairperson of the commission, Yasmin Suka, said corruption is not incidental but is the engine of South Sudan's decline. She said corruption in the country is driving hunger, collapsing health systems and causing preventable deaths. The issue is also fueling deadly armed conflict over resources. The Commission found that the government's oil inflows alone have exceeded $25.2 billion since South Sudan's independence in 2011. But looting of revenues means hardly any money reaches essential services. The Commission also highlighted an oil corruption scheme involving Benjamin Bol-Mel, who was appointed a Vice President of South Sudan in February 2025. In a written statement, the government called many of the allegations absurd. South Sudan sits at the bottom of both the UN Human Development Index and the Corruption Perceptions Index. The new report sets out 54 recommendations for the government to end corruption, strengthen accountability, and prioritize the population's basic needs.
A team of independent specialists appointed by the United Nations Human Rights Council has determined that Israel is engaging in genocide in Gaza, releasing a report on Tuesday that urges the international community to halt the genocide and take measures to hold those accountable for it.
The Commission concluded that Israel has committed genocide against the Palestinian people in Gaza and that it is continuing with that genocide. It is now almost 2 years since Israel launched its military campaign in the Gaza Strip in October 2023. This has been the most ruthless, prolonged, and widespread attack against the Palestinian people since 1948. Every day that passes, the killings and the starvation of the Palestinians continue.
The Commission concluded that Netanyahu, along with Israeli President Isaac Herzog and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, had provoked the perpetration of genocide in Gaza, citing the siege, mass starvation, and the targeting of hospitals. Israel vehemently rejects the report as blood libel. The death toll now exceeds 64,000 Palestinians, according to Gaza's health ministry.
And finally, in sports news this evening, the Zambia under-17 team dominated their match against Madagascar, securing a 5-1 victory. Kelvin Chipelu opened the scoring in the 6th minute, giving Zambia an early lead. Madagascar equalized through Tinai Mario in the 39th minute, but Mapalo Simute restored Zambia's lead just before half-time. Albert Kunda received a yellow card for a foul on Naitenia Gigidi in the 57th minute. Zambia extended their lead to 3-1 with a goal from Stephen Lungu in the 65th minute. Caleb Msonda scored Zambia's 4th goal in the 82nd minute, sealing the win. Kelvin Chipelu completed the rout with his 2nd goal in the 97th minute, making the final score 5-1 in favor of Zambia. Chipelu emerged as a player of the match. Both teams made multiple substitutions throughout the match, with Zambia making changes to freshen up their squad and Madagascar attempting to stem the flow of goals. Despite the impressive scoreline, Zambia was ultimately eliminated from the tournament and failed to qualify for the Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations AFCON. And that sporting item brings us to the end of this edition of Main News on Camnet TV. But before we go, a recap of stories that made headlines. ECL'S family application for leave to appeal dismissed. Teachers free to participate in voter registration, says Ministry of Education. Zambia vaccinates 200,000 cattle against foot and mouth disease. In international news, funeral held for 31 journalists killed in Israeli airstrikes in Yemen. And in sports, Zambia's under-17 thrash Madagascar 5-1 in COSAFA match. We now look at the Camnet verse for the day, coming from the book of Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 17. It reads, "The Lord thy God in the midst of thee is mighty. He will save, he will rejoice over thee with joy. He will rest his love, he will joy over thee with singing. We end the Bible reading and we end the main news on Camnet TV. But dear viewer, like always, do remember that Camnet TV is not just another channel. Now showing on Topstar channel 106, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on the CanStream app. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Tapelo Joe Smarter. Good evening and God bless.
Monday to Thursday afternoon, join us for the Lunchtime Cafe. We get to bring to you emerging stories making the headlines, media news, and we remind you of what political leaders and governance actors said back in the days. In Forgotten Stories, we emphasize to you the importance of eating healthy foods and leading healthy lifestyles on the Nutrition Corner. Get the latest updates in sports and critical interviews. Because we value your contribution to national matters, we accord you an opportunity to share your perspectives during the viewers' reactions. The Camnet TV Lunchtime Cafe is an all-inclusive buffet. Camnet TV, not just another channel.